of energy.
We've got fantastic opportunities to use new technologies to secure the American people and at the same time be better stewards of the environment.
You have questions, we have answers.
Listen carefully.
You can't really be against hydrofracking and say you're an environmentalist because immediately the default options are fuels that are much less clean.
For the next hour, Sean Wilson explores the energy industry with news and interviews from around the corner and around the globe.
Nuclear is one of the directions that we should innovate in.
The Exploring Energy Show begins now.
And a very, very good Thursday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Today's the day. Grandma's House, grand reopening. That's what they're calling the Meals on Wheels dining room now. Grandma's House. Come on by and check it out. Every meal created with thought, cooked with care, packaged with love. One table, one community, one purpose. That's the Meals on Wheels pledge. Don't forget to join them today in the Rotary Club. They celebrate the rededication and naming of our Meals on Wheels dining hall, a place of nourishment, connection, and community. It's today, 12 to 1, today at lunch, 12 to 1, Thursday, January 8th. That's today, 12 to 1 at the dining hall, 1510 West 9th Street in Elk City. Everyone is invited for Grandma's House, grand reopening right there at the Meals on Wheels location. That's their new name. I love it. Today, chicken noodle soup, green beans, roll, and pudding. That's what they're having today. Chicken noodle soup, green beans, roll, and pudding. Plus, they're having the big celebration from 12 to noon. Everybody's welcome. Dining room hours are open from 11 to 1. Regular meals, $8. Senior citizens meals, just $7. Everybody is welcome. Elk City Meals on Wheels, 1510 West 9th Street, 225-5821. If you want to call in your order or find out how you can be a part of a wonderful program. Today, Grandma's House, grand reopening. The new naming of the Meals on Wheels Dining Hall. Today from 12 to 1. Be there. One community, one table, one community, one purpose. Loving it. Loving that program. Carnegie Caravan. They will still bring free books right to you in the Elk City area. If you're interested in that, call them at 225-0136. Friends of the Carnegie Library, throw them in the Carnegie Caravan, bring the books right to you. 225-0136. And if you're having trouble reading regular size print, call them and ask them about a free program that can help. 225-0136. Okay, getting right at it here on this the Thursday morning. Hey, thank you, God, for the rain. First official rain total here at the station, on our little weather station, about 0.3, a little over 0.3 of an inch. There was water standing in the road when I got here this morning. I know we need more, but, man, some is better than none. The winter wheat around here, oh, they're needing it in such a bad, bad way. It's so brittle. When if the cows are grazing on it, they'll pull it right out of the ground. Anyway, here we go. Get you some winter energy stock prices to start the show here. West Texas Intermediate up $1.11 to $57.10 on a January contract. Brent crude oil in the ICE Futures Exchange has the global benchmark trading above 60 now, $61.15. That's up $1.19 a barrel. It's a February contract. Until common crude oil is still down 100 yen per kiloliter. New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas down 7 cents, trading at $3.46 per million BTU. Now, all the refined products, they're up. They're in the plus. Actually, pretty good size jumps. RBOB gasoline on the New York Mercantile Exchange up $4.33 to $173.78. January contract. Also, January contract has heating oil on the New York Mercantile Exchange up $3.63. That's to $209.30. And then gas oil up $9, trading at $610 even per million metric ton, or for metric ton, not million, but metric ton. So that is what's going on there with your refined products. Okay, well, the Oklahoma gross production in December, those numbers are out, and Oklahoma's gross production tax surged 232% in December. Revenue from Oklahoma's gross production tax surge in December, helping push overall state collections sharply higher, according to the latest monthly review report from Todd Russ, who's one of us. The gross production tax on oil and gas increased by $124.5 million, representing a 231.6% jump compared to the prior month. The increase reflects stronger energy receipts in the end of the year and underscores the continued importance of Oklahoma's oil and gas sector to state finances. So the motor vehicle and income taxes, they also rise. Motor vehicle tax collections rose $74 million, an increase of 19.9%. Total income tax collections climbed $607.4 million, up 51.7% month over month. Means more people are working, making more money. Together, these gains helped offset softness in other areas of the state tax collections, like, well, the sales tax declines despite overall growth. Total sales and use tax is $610.8 million. That's down 2.7%. Other tax sources, $117.7 million, down 9.8%. And so that's sales and use tax collections. State revenue up nearly 2% over the past year. Looking at the broader picture, Oklahoma's total state revenue over the past 12 months reached $17.20 billion, an increase of $236.4 million, or 1.9% compared to the prior year. On a year-over-year monthly basis, December collections were up $120 million, representing that 8.5% increase. Compared with November, overall revenues rose 22%, highlighting the strength of December's inflows. So energy remains a key revenue driver. The sharp rise in gross production tax collections illustrates how closely Oklahoma's fiscal health remains tied to the oil and gas industry and their activity, even as the state continues to diversify its revenue base. Treasury officials did not attribute the December spike to a single factor, but the increase aligns with higher production values and timing effects, often seen at year-end in energy-related tax reporting. So that's some good news. 232% gross production tax surges, 232% up. That's pretty good stuff right there. That's real numbers. Oh, 100 million here, 100 million there. It adds up. Okay. 600-pound gorilla in the room, this Venezuelan oil situation. Venezuela's oil impacts and what it does here in the United States. Just to give you an idea, they've got a little map here, a little picture that shows what the amount of oil reserves. Now that is oil that they figure is in the ground and is recoverable. That's their oil reserves. It hasn't been tapped into yet, basically. Just to give you an idea, Venezuela, the largest, I gave this number yesterday, but 303 billion barrels of oil reserves in Venezuela. Saudi Arabia comes in at second, 267 billion. Right behind them, Iran, 209 billion. Just to give you an idea where the United States lies, they are, we'll give you Canada's number, 163 billion barrels. The U.S. has about 45 billion barrels worth of reserve. And so they're down there on the list a little ways, but Venezuela is right at the top. So after taking over American oil and gas operations, Venezuela leaders in the late Hugo Chavez and now captured Nicolas Maduro drove the energy industry into ruins. While the country has a massive oil and gas reserve, it was allowed to crumble into ruins over the past decade, so the past 10 years or longer. President Trump professes his plan will turn things around for the people of Venezuela, and he said he will do it largely through a restoration of the oil and gas industry. This week, he stated Venezuela would relinquish up to 50 million, with an M, 50 million barrels of oil, worth roughly $2.8 billion to the U.S., and Venezuela could share in the profits from the sale. The oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, total bust, for a long period of time, Trump said Saturday. Hours after Maduro was captured by U.S. Special Forces, we're going to have to, he goes on to say, we're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. On Friday, President Trump plans to meet with a dozen oil executives in the White House to discuss boosting Venezuelan oil production. The Gulf Coast refineries, especially Louisiana, will be heavily impacted. Texas, not so much, according to a report by the Texas Tribune, which quoted Todd Staples, president of the Texas Oil and Gas Association. He says the Permian has been the best place to do business for years, and we had a surrounding infrastructure that made that attractive, said Todd Staples, president of the Texas Oil and Gas Association. He added that getting U.S. companies to produce Venezuelan oil is going to require a massive infusion of capital, and that has to be acquired from willing investors, Staples said. Considering all the circumstances globally, that tells me it's going to be years in the making. This is the president of the Texas Oil and Gas Association, Todd Staples. Chevron, now, they were the first name mentioned, headquartered in Houston, is the only U.S. company still operating in Venezuela after former President Hugo Chavez in 2007 nationalized assets belonging to U.S. and other Western companies. What that meant is he just took them. They were down there doing their thing, and he says, okay, those are ours now. Possession's 9/10 of the law, I guess. But the company has seen its share price rise in the aftermath of the U.S. military operation that brought Maduro and his wife to New York, where they face federal charges related to drug smuggling and weapons violations, reported the Tribune. Now, when I come back, I had come across a story in the Wall Street Journal, and of course they're tilted. And then, but I'll give you what is really coming out of this administration about the Venezuelan oil. Don't you dare go anywhere, and I'll continue the Thursday edition right after this.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Hi, I'm Gary Owens, the owner of Galleria Furniture. We've partnered with Serta to bring you exclusive mattresses. And for a limited time, when you purchase one of these Serta mattresses, you'll get a Serta wireless adjustable base absolutely free. Don't forget, we always have unbeatable everyday deals like twin mattresses starting at just $99 and queen mattresses only $199.
Located in Elk City next to Tractor Supply, where friends don't let friends pay retail.
Looking for the perfect venue for your next event? Look no further than the Frisco Center, located in the heart of western Oklahoma. Whether it's a stunning wedding, a joyful reception, a memorable birthday party, or a professional seminar, we've got you covered. With spacious rooms and exceptional service, Frisco Center is designed to make your special occasion unforgettable. Located at 101 South 4th Street in Clinton, Oklahoma. Call us today at 580-323-7874 to book your date. The Frisco Center, where every event is a reason to celebrate.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowe, and it never fails. Every time I visit this state and talk to the folks in the energy business, I learn something world-changing. The technology here is bleeding edge, and so is the focus on the environment. As for the people, they're among the smartest, most innovative, most talented workers I've ever had the pleasure of meeting anywhere. They're busy keeping our modern life going. Not a bad career choice, if you ask me. See their stories at oerb.com/micro.
One of the computers here at the station was crashing, about to lose everything on it, and we didn't even know it. But Dennis knew because he was watching, and he warned us in time.
Hey Gabe, it's Dennis. Our system detected that one of your computers has a hard drive that's about to fail.
Which one?
It's Nathan's.
So what do I need to do?
Well, we probably need to get it in the shop and get the drive cloned to a new machine before he loses any data off of it.
Do you have another computer in stock that we can just get it fixed real quick?
Sure, we've got some in stock. Just need to get it in, get it cloned over, and be good to go.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dennis.
You bet, sounds good. See you.
ITL monitors our computers at Paragon Communications remotely, so Dennis Teal knows there's a problem before we even know it. He helped us save years' worth of valuable files. ITL's remote monitoring comes in very handy here at work. That kind of security system for your computers can keep your business running so you can keep making a living.
Killhofer Flooring Center, right on the corner, right on the price. Corner of 6th and Main, downtown Elk City, Oklahoma.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
Yeah, this is the Exploring Energy Radio Show. Thanks so much for making me a part of your morning. Sustaining Oklahoma's energy resources is one of the reasons we're able to have this show. They've been a financial supporter of this show for many years now. They've got some upcoming educational opportunities. January 14th, Zoom meeting. This training covers the purpose and requirements of the Emergency Planning and Community Right to Know Act, Tier 2 reporting program about, reporting your hazardous chemical inventories. SPCC training, oil spill prevention, control, and countermeasure. That's January the 29th. These are both Zoom meetings, and they're free. Go to www.soer.oerb.com. Sustaining Oklahoma's Energy Resources, part of the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board. They continue to, just offer education, keep people compliant, keep people educated. Sustaining Oklahoma's Energy Resources, SOER, SOER.oerb.com. SOER, SOER.oerb.com. Go online and click on the producer's education. Click on the down. It'll have a little roll down and just find where it says workshops. Very easy to apply. Just do it the day before those gates. If you have minerals and royalties, you need help, David Allen Guest, he is the guy. He'll give you that time back you spent doing it. Plus, he'll get you the most out of your royalties. Nobody expects you to know how to do it. David is expected to know how to do it, and he expects that of himself, and he shows himself and others. He's been doing it for over 40 years for a reason, because he understands it, because he makes people more money. He is an investment, not an expense. Tap into David's experience. And he's a man of integrity, a guy that you'll be glad you're doing business with. And if you find yourself in that vulnerable situation where you need to sell, David's not going to take advantage of you. He's a buyer of royalties from estates, probates, trusts, and bankruptcies. Walking through that process is no day in the park, I promise you. David Allen Guest, call him today, 405-341-8698. Look him up on the interweb, 405-341-8698. Tell him we sent you. So as I was researching for the show, came across this story from the Wall Street Journal, and I'm going to share it with you because it's kind of funny. Not funny like a clown. But anyway, U.S. President Donald Trump and his advisors are planning an initiative to dominate the Venezuelan oil industry for years to come. The president told aides he believes his efforts could help lower oil prices to $50 a barrel, according to this Wall Street Journal report yesterday. A plan under consideration includes the U.S. exerting some control over Venezuelan state-run oil company PDVSA, including acquiring and marketing the bulk of the company's oil production. The report said, citing people familiar with the matter. Reuters could not immediately confirm the report. The White House did not respond immediately to Reuters' request for comment. So they put a little byline in there. This is maybe just conjecture, but Wall Street Journal, come on, really? It goes on to say the U.S. is looking to wield control of PDVSA through a deal under which it could work to buy and possibly distribute the company's oil, including through past and current joint ventures with oil majors like Chevron. The PDVSA, the Venezuelan oil outfit, said earlier on Wednesday it is progressing in negotiation with the United States for oil sales. As a board member with Reuters told U.S. will need to buy cargoes at international prices. On Tuesday, Washington announced a deal with Caracas to get access to up to $2 billion worth of Venezuelan crude, a sign that Venezuelan government officials are responding to Trump's demand that they open up to U.S. companies or risk more military intervention. Okay, that was the Wall Street Journal's business. I had a bad taste in my mouth just reading that story. Here's the real deal. This is what President Trump and his administration are offering. President Donald Trump said yesterday that Venezuela will purchase American products with revenue from its oil sales. I've just been informed that Venezuela is going to be purchasing only, in capital letters, only American-made products with the money they receive from our new oil deal, Trump said in a post on his social media platform, Truth Social. The president said the purchases will include agricultural products, medicine, medical devices, and equipment to improve Venezuela's grid and energy facilities. Okay, so from that previous story from the Wall Street Journal. Now you have what President Trump's really saying. They're going to buy American-made products. So what that means is people in the American agricultural industry, medicine, medical devices, equipment to improve Venezuela's grid and energy facilities, is going to help feed and boost the infrastructure in Venezuela. Not go in there and threaten more military intervention to take control of their oil. That's the narrative that the left is trying to paint, that the only reason Trump went down there and arrested this criminal, yeah, you heard me right, criminal, was to take over the oil. That's kind of like the gravy on your mashed potatoes. You get this guy out of there, and then you come in and you take something that he has driven into ruins because they didn't care about their oil and gas revenue. They were all about the drug revenue. Cocaine per barrel is a lot higher than a barrel of oil, I promise you. But the left wants to keep spinning this like it's all about control, just getting the oil. Now, what Trump is saying is, listen, we're going to buy that oil from Venezuela, and they're going to take that money that we send them, and they're going to put it right back into American companies. It's no different than the old Chamber of Commerce $7 rule. Maybe you're familiar, maybe you're not, but basically what they say is, I mean, not $7, but seven touches 7 times. For every out-of-town dollar that is spent in your city, it will touch 7 people within that community. So basically, you know, you go and you buy a tank of gas from an outfit, and then they take that money and they go down and they buy a new shirt with their profits. You know, then that person who had that, who sold that shirt, you know what? They're going to drive across town and they're going to eat at a restaurant. It will turn over 7 times for every dollar spent. Now, Trump's doing this in the billions of dollars, because he knows it can make a difference. He's a businessman. He understands that you have to have the infrastructure. You have to have the food. Well, if we're going to start sending oil money back down to Venezuela, it only makes sense to have them send some of that money back. Buy American agricultural products. Buy American medical devices and equipment to improve their grid and energy facilities. You go down to some of these South American countries and you'll see real quick how the United States electrical grid is far and above, I mean, not even in the same ballpark as far as reliability, as far as being able to get electricity generated and to the end user. So when they flip that switch, that light comes on. I mean, in India, I mean, they hang their dirty laundry out on lines they got running between these buildings. It's pretty crazy. But Venezuela has been neglected for so long. And the only way to get that going and get back on top is to start somewhere. And that's what Trump is trying to give them to him. Now, he said Tuesday, and I talked a little bit about this yesterday, Venezuela would turn over 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. after the overthrow of President Nicolas Maduro. The oil will be sold at market prices, Trump said. The sales, if executed, would total more than $2 billion in oil. That's at Wednesday's closing price. Energy Secretary Chris Wright, the only energy secretary ever who had oil and gas experience before he took over the job. That's ridiculous when you think about it, but it's how bureaucracy works. Energy Secretary Chris Wright said yesterday that the U.S. will control Venezuelans' oil sales indefinitely. We're going to market the crude coming out of Venezuela. First, this backed up stored oil, and then indefinitely going forward, we will sell the production that comes out of Venezuela into the marketplace, Wright said at Goldman Sachs' annual energy conference in Miami. We need to have that leverage and that control of those oil sales to drive the changes that simply must happen in Venezuela. The Energy Secretary said the funds from the sales will be deposited in U.S.-controlled accounts, Wright said. We're not taking their oil. He emphasized, we are not taking their oil, the Energy Secretary said in the CNBC interview. Funds from the sales will be brought back to Venezuela, he said. So there's your disparity between these two stories. What Trump actually says and means and what the Wall Street Journal and Reuters, a couple left-leaning sources, are saying. Of course, you know, they couldn't confirm. Small byline. These people, they throw those headlines out there, and then they conjure up conjecture. Be careful. I'm going to take another break. Be back with more of today's top energy news right after this.
The Exploring Energy Show.
You know why people like going out to eat? It's a little treat for them. They get to leave the house and go somewhere else and have somebody else cook the food and serve it to them and clean up afterward. All you got to do is pay and leave.
I know a lady that makes it at Janice's Cafe. We go out there and eat all the time. You know why? It's not at home, and it's better than what we cook. You know, one of my favorite things to eat at Janice's Cafe? The catfish. It's good. It's got the crispy breading. Oh, it's like they made it with love, with a little bit more love on top of it.
Bacon cheeseburger.
Best bacon cheeseburger in the business. Name another one.
Mushroom and Swiss.
Best mushroom burger there is ever. Janice's Cafe can make all those burgers for. Of course, they got burgers. They got the best burgers you can have.
Do you think more people drink sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Well, you know what I am.
Half and half.
Half sweet, half unsweet. Janice is located on the south side of Elk City, where you go into the movie theater, right there next to Arby's. You'll be able to find it because there's a big old sign up there that says Janice's Cafe.
Have you had a little fender bender and don't know where to get it fixed? Take it to Skunkworks Paint and Body in Sayre. They're a full-service paint and body shop with the skills to get the job done right. They also have computer color matching and custom paint for your motorcycle. All insurance providers are accepted and they work with fleet services. Give Skunkworks Paint and Body a call for a free estimate today at 580-928-5005. You can also find their ad inside the Penny News.
Children's Health Foundation has improved the lives of Oklahoma children with research, education, and care. For more than 40 years, Children's Health Foundation has raised over $155 million towards 18 pediatric initiatives, including cancer and heart programs. 75% of Oklahoma pediatricians are supported by Children's Health Foundation, and every cent raised stays in the state of Oklahoma. Change kids' health, change the future. Learn more at chfkids.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, it was important for my business to start strong.
Starting weak is not recommended.
But first, I needed a lot of stuff for the office.
Sounds like a shopping spree.
I just went to Staples. They have great prices on everything, like ink, toner, printers, paper, and chairs. And now, you can get up to 30% off select HP printers.
Up to 30% off HP printers? Am I on a hidden camera show?
No.
Well then, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Ins 131, select models only.
Craving a real steak? Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City is firing up flavors 7 days a week. The grill is always hot and the steaks are always fresh. From juicy char-grilled ribeyes, fillets, and sirloins to chicken fried steak, hearty burgers, seafood, and chicken, there's something for everyone. Don't forget the appetizers, salads, and desserts to top it off. Bring your appetite, we'll handle the rest. Dine in or order online now on the DoorDash app. It's more than just a steakhouse, it's Fred's.
We rent most everything, from backhoes to mowers to lifts and chainsaws. DJ's Rentals and Sales, 225-1400 on South Main in Elk City.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
For you to keep making money, your equipment, your machinery has to keep running. Bottom line. American Hose and Supply, they'll help you do that. They'll help you keep your machine up and going, whether they stock you beforehand or react to the situation at hand. They are on hand, ready to do it. American Hose and Supply, inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. Call 303, well, I'll get that out, 303-1123, 303-1123. That's American Hose and Supply. And ASCO Equipment, EJ Gredeman on the rental side, had a great visit with him Tuesday. On this equipment sales side, it's Bart Shields. If you're looking for heavy equipment for sale or rent in Oklahoma, ASCO's new and pre-owned construction equipment fits your needs and your budget. ASCO is a leading provider for the Oklahoma construction, ag, and energy sectors, proudly serving the Elk City area with construction equipment like tractors, backhoes, wheel loaders, cranes, dozers, excavators, the big stuff. They represent Case IH, Case Construction, Caterpillar Lift Truck Line, Crown, Bobcat, Genie, Hitachi, JCB, Mitsubishi, Volvo, and others. They are respected in the ag, construction, material handling, and mining equipment because ASCO takes care of their people. They sell new and used equipment, people who build, fuel, and feed our communities. Call them today, 323-3422. 323-3422. Talk to anybody who answers the phone. They'll get you to the right person, get you the right information. Jeremy Bridgman is the branch manager. Tell them we sent you, 513 West 20th Street. Stop in if you want. Or online, ASCOEQ, ASCOEQ.com. One of 27 locations throughout Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico. That's ASCO Equipment. Tell them we sent you. Okay. The old drone situation. Okay. I remember when those things first started kind of happening, and everybody in the world got them, and then they realized that they're not that easy to operate. So there were a lot of hundreds of dollars falling to the ground and busting into pieces. But let's take it up a next notch, okay? Drones in the oil patch, pipeline inspections, methane detection. So, the push for this. Tommy Kinville, CEO of North Dakota-based EyeSight Drone Services, been around aviation his entire life. His father was a pilot. He was also flown solo himself, although he never did receive his pilot's license. Instead, Kinville's drone business employs more than 20 licensed pilots, with part of his services devoted to the energy sector and various other businesses spread across 47 states. Kinville has spent his career since 1988 in aviation and is passionate about the possibilities for increased cost reduction and efficiency in data collection for various applications in the energy sector and elsewhere. He worked at the University of North Dakota Aviation School for 14 years, then began his own business. He helped U.S. Senator John Hoeven, Republican, North Dakota, when he was the state's governor, attract more infant drone industry. He consulted with the state government to see the entire industry, not just services, but manufacturing and much more. We're doing it all, he said, referring to his state as a leader in unmanned aerial systems, the UAS. Unmanned aerial systems, a fancy name for drones. While various parts of the energy sector have been using drones for maintenance and construction tasks through service providers like EyeSight and with their in-company resources, the growth in their use has been slow, according to Kinville. Industry sources were more bullish on the energy space's adoption of the UAS, the unmanned aerial systems, and the general artificial intelligence, AI-driven statistics reveal drones growing throughout the global economy at a compound annual growth rate of slightly less than 10%. So globally, drones are experiencing significant growth, with the global market valued at an estimated $73 billion in 2024, projected to reach $163.6 billion by 2030. Well, key drivers include the expansion of commercial applications like delivery and agriculture, advancements in technology, and increased investment in commercial and military sectors. According to online market analysis, North America is a leading market, holding the largest share. U.S. commercial drone market alone is projected to reach $14.5 billion by 2030. The U.S. is expected to create more than 103,000 UAS jobs, unmanned aerial system jobs, with California projected to have more than 17,000 of those jobs this year. So rotary blade drones hold the largest revenue share, especially for applications requiring hovering and precise maneuvering like inspections and photography. Hybrid drones are expected to see high growth due to their long endurance and heavy lift capabilities, making them suitable for tasks like cargo delivery and surveying. Now, the roto-type unmanned aerial systems have advanced significantly in the past few years, particularly with increased payload capacity and advances in battery technology to allow for longer flight times, Moore said. Platforms have also become more robust and more capable of flying in rougher scenarios, either with poor weather conditions or in hard-to-access areas. So, just to give you an idea, this eyesight uses a 12-foot wingspan. Just to give you an idea, 12-foot wingspan, gas-powered drone that spends 7 hours in the air. So this plane can do a lot of pipelines, a lot of inspections, Kenville said. We have done some demonstrations with Marathon Oil. Kenville said there is good methane sensing technology to put on drones, but his experience is that some operators do not want to sign multi-year contracts. And we're not going to invest $100,000 in methane sensing technology without a multi-year contract, a return on investment. He acknowledged that some oil companies have adopted their own internal drone programs, employing their own drone pilots. Eyesight has done work for Tulsa-based One Oak, the midstream pipeline operator. We have some discussions ongoing with them, noted Kenville in early October. I would like to do a lot more oil and gas business, but it's been a tough market for us. He described the energy space as a slower adaptation for drones than he had anticipated. In May, the American Gas Association held an annual operations conference and exhibition highlighting some of the latest technology for gas distributors, and drone and AI-powered technologies were on prominent display. Whether it's deploying predictive analytics to anticipate maintenance needs before they become service issues or leveraging satellite data and drone technology, the industry is showing that it's actively shaping the future, all while keeping customer needs at the center of every breakthrough. So this is what one energy guy says. TC Energy's Zachary Locks, the manager of geohazards and damage prevention, noted that AI is really just another tool in the toolbox. Where it has really come into play, the most is automated stress detection, identifying hurdles and barriers in energy networks. They can be identifying an excavator on a pipeline right-of-way or a landslide in a remote area. Locke serves as a committee chair with the Virginia-based Pipeline Research Council International. What we're seeing with AI, artificial intelligence, is the ability to automate the imaging. Whether it comes from a drone or another source, it can potentially identify things that pilots miss. It can also detect small changes between flights and otherwise would be missed. In an ideal world, you'd have a fleet of drones flying around and they would just automatically be recording things. We're not there yet, Locke said. This is sort of the vision of where this could go. So, a lot of new regulations, too. The FAA regulates drone use by requiring registration and adherence to certain requirements based on whether the drone flight is for recreational or commercial use. Commercial use, such as those for oil and gas operations, continue to require pilot certification, and at present, most flights require observations unless waived by that federal agency, the FAA. However, the FAA, jointly with the Transportation Safety Administration, recently published a notice of proposed rulemaking around these BVLOS capabilities that would support large-scale use of drones, particularly for remote facilities, with additional requirements around pilot licensing and safety. Man, I'm all about making these things safe. You figure a 12-foot wingspan on a drone, and you got somebody not knowing what they're doing, you could hurt somebody in a minute. So right now, Kenville said that in the wind industry, especially operators design their own drones for the job to inspect those wind towers. He's dependent on China for drones, and the Trump administration tariffs at times have created problems for Kenville's operation in that regard. Some of the best ones we have are $50,000 Chinese drones, he said. Drones are changing all forms of industry working on 4,000 to 5,000 miles of electric power lines or 5,000 acres of farmland irrigation systems. So right now there are a lot of these companies that use pilots, manned aircraft to fly the rights of way or fly over that transmission line. But what they're saying with these drones, they have the capability to catch stuff that if the pilot looked at his gauge to check his altitude, he might have just missed something on that pipeline or something on that electrical line. So it's kind of crazy, this drone thing. I mean, if you've ever watched one and you see the capability they have now, because they have these drone shows where at night they light up and they make a unbelievable caricature or picture in the sky of an object or whatever. It's amazing what they can do. But I understand it's hard for people to walk or four-wheeler an entire pipeline system. Some of these places that are, like I said earlier, in heavily forested areas or in swamps, these drones can get right down there on it and make it happen. So we'll see how far this thing's going to go. But I was curious when I first looked at this story about how the drone technology isn't advancing as quickly as he would want. Now, I will tell you this. I haven't seen a 12-foot drone flying out here in western Oklahoma over a pipeline or a transmission line. They might be. I mean, I'm old. My eyesight ain't what it used to be, but I'm just saying you would seem to think that you would notice a 12-foot wingspan drone that was flying pretty close to the earth. So I understand that he's probably right that it's these oil and gas companies aren't wanting to sign a long-term situation with this drone company, but I also understand him as a businessman. You don't want to go out there and spend all this money and then nobody buy it. That doesn't do anybody any good. I'm going to take a break, come back with the mop-up segment of the Thursday edition of the Exploring Energy Radio Show right after this.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
They're expecting me to get whatever task done. To a farmer, a tractor, combine, gets them up and running. He's back in the field, makes some money. Guy in the oil field, their piece of equipment's running again. That makes some money. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oil field or agriculture. So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. You're a oil field customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. If we're competitive on price, we say we'll bring it to you, we'll do whatever it takes to get it to you, make life easier on you, or you can call us to solve a problem. Hey, can you get this? Why wouldn't you? American Hose and Supply, 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123. 303-1123.
Why wouldn't you?
Timber Oklahoma is your safe and reliable expert tree care service. At Timber, we provide professional tree trimming and removal with a focus on safety, quality, and clear communication. With over 10 years of experience and certified in the Electrical Hazards Awareness Program, our crews provide tree trimming and removal, storm damage cleanup, utility line clearance. Call Timber today at 580-732-3400 or see us online at www.timberokla.com or email us at customercare@timberokla.com.
Hi, it's Andy Taylor. We're living in some very turbulent times. It's easy to get discouraged in the normal course of life, but the good news is God has all the answers. His presence and companionship always makes all the difference. A big part of what we do at Trinity Fellowship is to help people in the process of coming into relationship with the Father. We'd love to help you. Our services start at 10 a.m. on Sunday. You can find us on our Trinity Fellowship Facebook page, or you can listen right here on KECO at 9:30. We'd love to have you be part of our family.
Hey folks, this is EJ Gredeman with ASCO Equipment out of Elk City, Oklahoma. If you need rental equipment, I got your back. From excavators to wheel loaders, telehandlers, and forklifts, we rent the brands that you know and trust. With flexible terms, responsible service, and expert support, we're here to keep your job on track. Need equipment? We're on it here at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by our Elk City branch, 513 West 20th here in Elk City, Oklahoma, or you can just give me a call, 580-243-9233. Appreciate it, folks, and y'all have a blessed day.
You got 5-6 tractors out there. You got a dozer, a traco, a grader, something like that. I mean, you go through a lot of oil in the season. I mean, you'll use a few hundred gallons in a season. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand, where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is, it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. They can come in and talk to us, see what they want, or give us a call, and we can come out, see what they have, fill their tanks, set them tanks. That's what we've done here in the past. We've converted a lot of farmers over to our brand, our house brand of motor diesel oil. The price savings it's huge for them. We sell it to oil field companies also. They use it in frac pumps, and they're not happy, you know it, and it's working great for them. Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse. The price savings it's huge for them.
Try the penny news for your business. It's the little paper with a big punch.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
The EE, the Exploring Energy Show, brought to you in part by Fred's Steakhouse. They have numerous side options available, along with fresh salads, soup of the day, freshly baked rolls made daily in their in-house bakery. Try some of that cinnamon sugar butter slathered on there. Fred's is home of the $4.99 chicken fried steak, served daily, hand-battered, country gravy, house-made mashed potatoes. They also are your destination for fresh USDA-graded beef ribeyes, New York strips, filet mignon, sirloins, hand-cut daily by the in-house butcher. They have appetizers, sure to please everyone. 7 kinds of chicken, seafood, freshwater catfish. And cap off your dining experience with fresh in-house made desserts. At Fred's. Fred's also has a full-service bar for your favorite cocktail, specialty drinks, and ice-cold beer. Fred's Steakhouse can host your private event located at 2107 South Main Street, exit 38 off I-40. Call them at 243-2100, 243-2100, or order online on the Chow Now app. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. You heard Ronnie Red talk about it. People use a lot of oil. Farmers use oil a lot every season. Oilfield companies use a lot of oil all the time. Camrock's oil is the same specifications. Same kind of oil, does the exact same thing, lubricates the same as the designer brands, except it costs less. That's the difference. Costs less. Folks who use a lot of oil and save a lot of money with Camrock. Camrock Supply on South Main Street in Elk City next to Fred's Steakhouse. Online, camrocksupply.com, camrocksupply.com. Locations in Elk City, Oklahoma City, Midland, Texas, and Ulysses, Kansas. That's Camrock. Local guys with local ties doing business with their community. So this hour's weather forecast brought to you as a service of your friends and neighbors, Carter Electric. Owned and operated by Kervin and Mary Orgain. They're the ones that help you see the light of day even at night. If your power goes out at midnight or on the weekend, Carter Electric provides 24-hour emergency electrical service. You want to make sure your power stays on? Well, they are an authorized Generac generator dealer. Carter Electric can come in and size what you need for your business or your residence. They can sell it to you. They can install it professionally and come back and service it. Generac generator dealer, authorized, Carter Electric. And a lot of electric work goes on overhead. Carter Electric has pole trucks, man lifts to get way up high if there's a problem up there. Licensed, insured, trusted. It's Carter Electric. 225-2447, 225-2447. Providing you this hour's weather forecast service of Carter Electric. Okay, today, a 40% chance of showers before 9 a.m. Well, we got those in the Elk City area. I'm not sure if you're right there where the rain didn't come. Mostly cloudy through mid-morning, then gradual clearing with a high near 68. South-southwest winds 13 to 22 miles per hour, becoming west-northwest this afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 33. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 32. Northwest winds at 7 to 10 miles per hour, becoming northeast after midnight. 30% chance of showers mainly afternoon on tomorrow. Increasing clouds with a high near 47. Northeast winds 8 to 16 miles per hour with gusts as high as 24. Slight chance of rain Friday night and snow showers before 9 p.m. Then a slight chance of snow showers between 9 and midnight. Mostly cloudy and then gradually becoming mostly clear with a low around 27. North winds 13 to 16 miles per hour with gusts as high as 24. Chance of precipitation 20% Friday night. But things are cooling down somewhat. Saturday, sunny with a high near 51. Northwest winds 10 to 14 with gusts as high as 21. Clear with a low around 26 Saturday night. Sunday, sunny with a high near 52. Low Sunday night about 29. Monday, kind of the same thing. 61 for the high, 31 for the low Monday night. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 63. 37 for the low Tuesday night. Mostly sunny with a high near 58 on Wednesday. So it's going to stay in the mid to upper 50s. But a slight chance of rain and snow showers before 9 p.m. Friday night. Come on, any kind of moisture would help. But, of course, it takes a whole lot more snow to make any kind of a difference. But some is better than none. Never curse the rain. You never know when it's going to come back here in Oklahoma. Energy news in my briefs. The United States on Wednesday seized an oil tanker flying a Russian flag that is linked to Venezuela, according to multiple news reports. The reported seizure in the North Atlantic includes a weeks-long chase, 2 U.S. officials told NBC News. One of the officials said the ship has been secured, and the Department of Homeland Security is leading the operation with support from the U.S. military. And as President Donald Trump vows to return U.S. energy investment to Venezuela, the Latin American country remains on the hook for billions of dollars owed to American energy companies. Following years-old legal battles over oil contracts, ExxonMobil and ConocoPhillips exited Venezuela in 2007 and then later filed claims against the government in international arbitration courts. These courts ultimately ruled in favor of the companies, ordering Venezuela to pay ConocoPhillips more than $10 billion with a B dollars. ExxonMobil more than $1 billion. And as we said earlier, Chevron is the only one that kind of stayed down there. But I'm sure a lot of this was because Venezuela just took their equipment and nationalized it. Energy Secretary Chris Wright and Interior Secretary Doug Burgum are reportedly planning meetings with oil executives to convince them to re-enter Venezuelan oil fields. The earlier story said that's going to happen tomorrow. A bipartisan spending package introduced Monday largely preserves budgets for the U.S. EPA and the Interior Department. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Democrat, Rhode Island, affirms permitting negotiations are on pause as long as the Trump administration halt on offshore wind construction continues. Tesla's sell fell year over year. So Tesla's sales fell year over year in 2025, finishing with 418,227 deliveries, bringing the company's sales totals behind emerging Chinese company BYD. In 2025, for the fourth year in a row, the world's biggest banks made more money on their renewables investments than they did working with fossil fuel companies. Those were due to government handouts, I'm sure. Sometimes this stuff gets a little skewed. The Houston company faces a record $9.6 million in federal fines for its role in a major oil spill that mystified experts and environmentalists for months following the November 2023 incident. The U.S. Department of Transportation, which regulates pipelines, offered clarity Monday. It said in a statement that Houston-based Panther Operating Company faces the largest civil penalty ever for alleged failures leading up to and during the incident involving its pipeline offshore Louisiana main pass oil gathering. And left-wing group Media Matters reports that the major 4 broadcast networks aired 12 hours and 51 minutes of climate coverage in 2024, a 25% decline in volume of coverage from 2023. Primarily, numbers show that the decline was continued into this year. Hey, don't forget that big renaming of the Elk City Meals on Wheels dining room. That's happening today from 12 to 1. They're 1510 West 9th Street. Grandma's house. That's what they're calling it now. Also, don't forget Paragon TV coverage continues with tournaments this week. Rapo, Butler, Full Western Equipment Classic. And then this week, Eric is competing in the Cotton Belt Tournament at the Western Oklahoma State College down in Altus. Big Elks, they're in the Weatherford Tournament. The boys are in kind of a little round, the boys are in a bracket and the girls are in kind of a little festival situation. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Lord, for the great rain. I'm Sean Wilson. I promise we'll talk again. Have yourself a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hottest stars in country music.
Here they are. Yeah. Hi, this
this is Sarah Evans.
Hi, this is Tracy Lawrence.
This is KECO, Elk City.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Protesters descending on Minneapolis after Mayor Jacob Frey declared that ICE murdered a protester who gunned her SUV into ICE officers. Homeland Secretary Christy